Hello, big names and strong criticism. New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg defending the NYPD's surveillance of Muslims in New Jersey, taking aim at Governor Christie and Newark Mayor Cory Booker, calling their criticism of the program ridiculous. Bloomberg says New York City police were doing what any private citizen can do, reading websites and going to public meetings. But the governor was not letting up when he appeared last night on NJTV with Steve Adubato.
I don't want to be the law enforcement officer who has to raise their hand before Congress after another terrorist attack, God forbid, and explain why they were unwilling to share information with another law enforcement agency in a jurisdiction where they're performing surveillance.
Christie also distanced himself from what his education chief, Chris Cerf, had said about reconsidering the school superintendent's salary cap.
Are you or are you not open on this question of superintendent's salary caps?
Not open.
He was incorrect when he said that.
I think he meant to say he was open to it. I don't think he meant to represent my position on it.
And the governor told Steve Adubato he's committed to his proposed 10% income tax cut and opposed to any tax increase, even on high-income earners.
We have the most progressive income tax system in America. The top 1% pay 41%. Yeah, they've been sacrificing for a long time.
When it comes to presidential politics, the governor explained why Mitt Romney is having trouble locking up the nomination.
I think he's a very reserved guy. And I think we live in very tumultuous times. And so I think that the Republican Party and its voters are so focused on trying to make sure that they defeat President Obama, that they want to make sure they pick the very best candidate to take it to President Obama in the fall. So they're shopping around.
And what about Christie for vice president?
I doubt that's something I would want to do. I won't rule it out, only because I think that I owe it to Governor Romney, if you were to ask me the question, to sit and listen to him as to why he thinks I would be the best person to be vice president. But, you know, from my perspective, if you're a betting person, bet on me still being governor of New Jersey in January of 2013.
And joining us now is the host of Christie on the Line, our colleague Steve Adubato. It's good of you to come on in. The governor canceling his trip to Ohio today, where he was going to campaign for Mitt Romney. Bad weather was to blame. The plane couldn't simply get in there. How important does he see himself in terms of helping Romney's campaign, do you think?
Well, Mike, I don't really think it's a question of how the governor sees himself. He's important. He's huge in this presidential situation. In some ways, he's at least as important as Mitt Romney. He's clearly more charismatic, more interesting, more dynamic, and Christie on the Line proved it again last night. He has great television. He's a great soundbite. He's a great interview. And if Mitt Romney were half as interesting as Chris Christie, this would not be a competitive Republican primary. He would have run away with it already.
He makes it a point, too, when you question him, of talking about, even though he's knocking heads with the Democrat, that he has a behind-the-scenes good relationship with them. Is the relationship as good this year as it was last year, given the nature of where politics is going?
You know, I think the Democrats, Mike, feel the need to be tough with Christie. Right after the budget address, they immediately said, no way on the 10% income tax cut. They can say what they want, but in the end, I think he has them boxed in. I mean, I think they love the fact that S&P, Standard & Poor's, is saying we may not have the money to do the income tax cut. But in the end, what are they going to do? Are they going to be against the tax cut? I don't think so.
It's interesting, though, because when S&P came out with that, and we talked to the analyst about who issued that just yesterday, the governor fires back. He almost takes it seems like he takes it personally. Does he take stuff like that personally?
You know, I don't know if he takes it personally or not, but he does not. Listen, it's one thing if you put it this way. I don't think he believes what they're saying. I believe he believes the revenue is there, and he will fight back, and that's what he's doing. He's saying, look, Standard & Poor's, they've been wrong before, and I think they're wrong now, and he's taking them on. And he's saying to the Democrats, I've won, we've won, because, look, we're arguing about which tax we're going to cut. Yeah. And the Democrats, let's be fair, they controlled the State House for years. The executive branch, the legislative branches, where were they on this reducing property taxes? I didn't see them doing when they had a chance, Mike.
Will he be able at this point to get enough of them to get the things that he wants passed? Does he fully expect a 10% tax cut or any manifestation thereof?
I don't think he gets the 10%. I don't think he gets it. I think he gets something, but I believe they're going to compromise in a way that he may not like, but the Democrats feel that they have him because they have the votes, and they also feel they need to show some strength. But in the end, if they are against this tax cut, and if they block this, and he's able to pin that on them in a competitive legislative race with a gubernatorial race coming up, I think they're going to look bad on this in the end.
One thing that comes through when you watch him engage in the public, when you watch him speak when you watch him do his governor thing, he's having fun with this, isn't he? He likes it.
He likes it, but at the same time, you know, and I saw this last night. You see it in him. He is a Jersey guy through and through. I mean, he doesn't fake his, when he's peeved, and I was going to use another word.
I got you.
But it's PVS, I won't. When he's angry, he shows it. And I also see it in me. When I was going back and forth with him at certain times, I mean, he's like, look, when he's done with the subject, he's like, look, I'm done.
Let's move on.
But at the same time, you have to do what you have to do, and he understands and respects that, but he does not have any problem pushing back. He does, and I'll tell you something I respect about him. He pushes back with callers and pushes back with viewers and with people in town meetings, and a lot of people say politicians aren't supposed to do that. I think it's patronizing not to treat viewers and not to treat voters in a respectful way by saying, listen, I disagree with you. Mm-hmm. I respect Christie because he tells you what he thinks. With Corzine, respectfully, half the time he would tell you what you wanted to hear. You didn't really know what he thought. With Christie, you know, even if you don't like the delivery.
What you see is
I
what
respect
you get.
that.
Steve, got to leave it there. Steve Adubato, thank you.
Great to be here, Mike.